this computer. All right, so again, now that it's recording, I'm showing you guys how to add a physician, confirm their MPI, and then assign them to CliniSign and CliniFax, because it's a little bit different than the way I think most of you are doing the adding the physicians from the plans of care or the cases. So I've been told by Tammy with Trinity and Chastity with Carolina Therapy that you guys have access to everything that I'm about to show you. But if you're trying to do it and you don't have access to like the administration tab, we can problem solve that. Some of you may not ever use this, but again, I'm recording it now in case it ever comes up. I'm going to try to do a simple handout also in case you have a new medical director or a new physician at your facility or clinic and you need to add somebody. Some of you guys do this, it seems like, every day. So you'll be using this all the time. So the first thing we're going to do is add, first of all, does anybody have a physician that they need to have added that I can like do it real time? I'm going to add a dummy physician then. The way you're going to do that is you're going to go to administration. I'm in Trinity, but this is going to look exactly the same for Carolina Therapy. So the administration OU, and again, you guys should all have access to this. You're going to go to the administration tab, very convenient, master files, and here's physicians. Your drop downs and everything may look a little bit different. I probably have a lot more than what you guys have, but you should at least have master files and physicians. And you're going to go to the physician master file. So this is where you're going to initially add the physician. When you are doing a plan of care and the physician is already in there, or they're in there and the MPI isn't verified, or they're in there and CliniSign or CliniFax is not added to them, assigned to them yet, this is where you're going to catch that. And I'm not sure that you guys catch it. I'm not familiar with adding physicians through the case and through the plan of care, so it may stop you at this point, but I know this will. I'm trying to think. You can, here's all the physicians that we have. Just going to, let's say that we're trying to add Mark Smith. So I don't know which one of you guys use Mark Smith. If you come in here and you try to add a new Mark Smith with this NPI number, that's where it's going to stop you. But if not, let's say that we're going to add the physician Brad Myers. You're going to search that. I'm not here, so you're good to go. If I am here, but this box is not checked with the NPI, all you need to do is open up this box and NPI verify it. Let me find somebody who's not NPI verified so I can show that to you guys. Miss Carly Smith. So if you're trying to add Carly Smith, she does not have an active NPI number. If you get to this point and it starts to get, too detailed, you can contact me or Heather or Stacy or Donna, and we can help you through it. But NPI verification is actually pretty easily. Sometimes, especially for you newer Trinity buildings that we brought on within the past couple of years, and we used the data interface from the previous company, the physician came over. And sometimes the NPI number did too, but you didn't click, or NetHealth did not automatically click this verify button. So sometimes that's all you got to do. But if you want to, if the physician's already in here or you're adding them, you're going to click the this button. This website came up on my other screen. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see this? This is the MPI verification website. And you want to be as detailed as possible. Like if you were looking for Matthew Smith and you don't put in any further verification, there's going to be thousands of Matthew Smiths. But we're putting in just Myers. I'll show you that the more information that you could put in, like Myers is going to give you a ton of different ones. You strict it down to North Carolina. That's going to further restrict it. You actually have a first name. Robert is my first name. It's not Brad. There's me. So you're going to copy that NPI number. So if you already have an NPI number, a lot of times when you guys send us a physician to add, you already have an NPI number. So if you already have it, that's great. And if sometimes we get the wrong NPI number, that's where this will pop up too. Like if I try to put in my NPI number with Carly Smith, it will stop me because last names are not the same. Okay. So the reason that we've sort of hesitated doing this, showing you guys this, is that if you don't have an NPI or if you enter it incorrectly or anything, there's a few more steps to than just adding it on the plan of care. But again, NetHealth is relatively foolproof. It should not let you do anything that's going to royally screw anything up. But so we're going to assume that we're adding me again, because let's assume that I'm a doctor. I'm not already here. I'm going to click new. Here's that screen again. I'm going to add Dr. Robert Myers. You need an active from date, because if you enter this and you NPI and all that sort of stuff, and you enter in all this demographic information, if you don't have an active from date, it's still not going to show up in your CliniSign and CliniFax and on your plans of care. So we already looked up my NPI, or maybe your facility already gave it to you. You're going to click verify. And of course, I've never seen that error message. As soon as I get on a Zoom call with everybody that I know, it's going to give me something that I'm not used to. Let me try that again. All right.
Is it because you're not a physician and you have a different NPI, like an OT?
No, because I've done this on the Carolina therapy side just to make sure that it would let me do it for this very purpose. But as usual, NetHealth. All right, I'm going to manually 106-350-0437.
Brad.
You're not going to let me.
Brad, when you get a moment, I found two that are very similar situations to what we're doing, that I need done.
All right.
That are similar to what you're doing.
All right. What's somebody's name?
Okay, so I have one that gave me the message of not active during this document certification period. I got that.
So that is this active from date. So you just go to this screen and you would put in that physician. They're already in there, and they may already be NPI verified, but you have to put in an active from date. That's all that is.
So where do we get this active from date from? Is it just?
It's just put it before the plan of care that you were trying to use. Like if you just evaluated the person today, you can put it March 1st, you can put it today, you can put it the 15th. Okay. It just has to be a date before you need it on a plan of care.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were saying you had somebody new that you...
I do. And then there's a John Ballantyne. We did not have an NPI for him.
Ballantyne?
Ballantyne, it is Ballentine. And the first name is John. And he's actually a PA.
All right. So I'm not seeing him. I don't love putting in PAs in, but I'll do it for this purpose. So Ballantyne, it doesn't look like he is in here. So that is perfect. All right. So we're going to look him up. Again, the more information that you have about them coming into it when you have to go to the NPI verification site, the better.
Okay.
And Tanisha is in Virginia. So he must be, did we spell the last name right?
Yep, that's correct. And I'm trying to pull
Sure
up.
about that?
That's it right there, Burnett's Way. That's him.
All right, we're going to copy his John Valentine. Verify. Because I spelled it wrong. So see, NetHealth has several checks and balances that it should not let you screw this up, but don't try. So I'm going to.
So it's saying his name is spelled wrong. Oh, it was 2 L's.
Mm-hmm. So, and he's in the MPI registry has only 1 L.
1 L. Okay.
So long as you got spelling, here's his title, correct MPI number, the active from date. And a lot of times once you put this MPI number in and you verify it, all this other stuff will populate.
Okay.
And it really does not. NetHealth is sort of screwy in that this fax number this fax number is not what is important for CliniFax. So if the fax number that you have that you've been told to use for CliniFax is not this number, it really doesn't matter. But you do have to, if you were using CliniSign, you do have to have the accurate email address here. It has to be spelled correctly, all of the periods and dashes or whatever. But if you were using CliniFax, you need a generic email address, which is email@email.com. Okay, so did everybody get that? If this is CliniSign, you skilled nursing facilities, and I would love for all of the physicians to start moving towards CliniSign, you need the actual email address here. If this is CliniFax, you are doing this generic one. Okay, so you have to tell it which facility you want it added to. And Tanisha is at Lake Prince. And we should be good to go.
Brad.
Right, so, okay.
This is April. Can I ask a question?
Yes,
For
ma'am.
that active date, are we not supposed to use the enumeration date from the NPPES registry?
I have no idea what that means. This is just the active date that they should be seen in NetHealth, because sometimes we've had facilities that have changed physicians lately, and we have to put an inactive date in there so the therapists don't see them on plans of care and updated plans of care anymore. So this is just a NetHealth thing.
Okay.
You sounded really smart when you said that. All right. So the physicians in here, we have NPI verified. We have assigned the facility. They have an active date. We've entered an email address if it's CliniSign, or a generic one if it's CliniFax. So you're not done. Now you have to go back to your facility. In Tanisha's case, Lake Prince. This activities tab, which you should all be very intimately aware of. We're going to go to CliniSign. And then the CliniSign manager, for those of you who have always wondered what we use it for, today's your lucky day. We just added, so this is all of the physicians that Tanisha has access to at Lake Prince. There are some that almost none of them are eligible. They're not MPI verified. They don't have an active day. Anybody that's grayed out, you should not be able to use, Tanisha, but it may be that they show up on the plan of care, but it shows up as not MPI verified, and you definitely could not assign them to CliniSign or CliniFax. But we just added John Valentine. So if you are adding for CliniSign, you're going to click this box, self-explanatory, and you want to make sure that over here, this email address is accurate. Well, I put in email@email.com. I don't think that that's a problem, but I'll go back and correct it. Let's pretend that this is email@email.com. If this is CliniSign, you're going to click this, and so long as that is their active, email address, their accurate email address, bradm@carolinatherapy.net or whatever, you should be good to go. If this is CliniFax, you're going to click CliniFax, and then this is where you have to actually enter the number. The screen that we were on before that had a fax number, for whatever reason, NetHealth doesn't care about that. Even if there's a figure put in there, you still have to put a fax number. Do you have that, Tanisha?
Yes.
All right. So you have to precede it with a 1. Learn that the hard way.
Okay. And it's 757-539-7488.
Right. I'm going to apply or save. It does the same thing. and then you are set up for CliniFax.
Okay.
Or Dr. Ballantyne is. Have you used him yet?
No.
We're going to pick on Tanisha a little bit since she's my star student here. Now that you've got, let's say that they did do the plan of care and it's been signed by the therapist already.
Okay, yeah. So he did do the eval, but he wasn't able to add that doctor's name. So I think he had put someone else's in there.
Right. Well, okay, let's look at that. So now
Yeah.
you're going to go to this physician signatures console, which again, you guys should all be very, very aware of. Please, again, make sure that you guys are checking this weekly, if not more often. Put in a date. It's not really going to show you more than a month or it gets confused. So let's look at what Tanisha's doing. All right. Her doctor is doing a pretty good job. Signed this. Some of them have been sent. Yeah, it looks a whole lot better. But, if you go to the other documents folder, this is everybody that has been assigned. All of those grayed out physicians, the ones that had their whole row was white, but they did not have CliniSign or CliniFax checked. That's where all these people went. NetHealth doesn't know what to do with them, and that person is not here. So you guys must not have e-signed that document yet.
Right.
So let's say with Dr. Ballantyne, they did do the evaluations. The therapist did assign the, they did e-sign the document. Those plans of care, let's say you got OT, PT, and speech evals, there'll be 3 evals here to that physician, and there'll be a section over here on the right to resend it to CliniSign or resend it to CliniFax. So that's where that goes. But now if he goes in there and if you guys go in there and you do evals that are assigned to Dr. Ballantyne, and when the therapist e-signs them, it will automatically shunt over to him.
Okay.
But if you guys have already done, let's go back. Tanisha is probably squirming because now I'm really going back and telling on her. It's doing this. Okay, so here's somebody that is in her other documents folder. Heather did an eval and used Michael Mitchell. Michael Mitchell, something is missing. He's not MPI verified. He doesn't have an email. He doesn't have a fax number. Something is going on that NetHealth doesn't know what to do with this OT eval. So if Michael Mitchell, for whatever reason, we're not going to assign him to CliniSign or CliniFax, Tanisha is going to have to print this, send it to him, get a signature, get it back, scan it in. I don't like that. So what we could do is get a fax number for Dr. Mitchell, and we're going to go through that whole rigmarole that I just went through, whether he's in the system already. So you probably are just going to have to go to let's look. Yep, he just needs he's good to go, except he does not have either an email address. So if that's the case, Tanisha, if like you say that you wanted to go and add Michael Mitchell, you would have to go to the administration tab, find him, like just put in Mitchell and put in either, if you're using CliniFax, again, you're putting in email@email.com. If you're using CliniSign, you're putting in his actual email address. And you're coming back to this screen and you're clicking one or the other. So he is eligible. It looks like he's probably already NPI verified. He's active, so he should be good to go. So here's the fun part. She's got 2. And if that's the case, and if you see and your therapist see that, okay, well, I'm using Dr. Michael Mitchell, and one of them, when I do the plan of care, both of them pop up. Which one do I use? We're trying to slowly work through that. But a lot of times the people that are, again, you facilities that we had the data transfer from another therapy company, for whatever reason, there were duplicates. Like we would have added one and then the one from whoever also came over. So it's not unusual for us to see multiple physicians, but only one of them should be NPI verified. And that's the one that we need to be assigning to CliniSign or CliniFax. All right, so does everybody see that? Do you need to see it again? Or do you feel like with viewing a now 20-minute recording or looking at the handout that you guys would be able to do all of that. Especially you CCRCs, direct bills, all of, you know, you guys that, and there are several of you that are adding physicians frequently. And we can, you know, when me or Heather or Stacy or Donna or whoever is in your buildings, we can sit down with you and do the first couple with you guys. But especially if you're sending it to me, I'm on the road. You know, I've been out of the, well, I've been in CTS stuff for the past couple of days. So if you would have sent me a physician to add on Monday, I'm just getting around to it today. So I don't want me or any of the clinical specialists being away from our computer to be holding you guys up if it's something that you can do. So it's not like we're trying to, you know, volley this back into your court. We're just trying to make things more efficient for you guys. So if you feel like you need for us, you know, to walk through this with you a couple more times before, you know, you can sort of shove off on your own, that's fine. But feel free to start trying this on your own. Any questions or comments, compliments? Right. Well, that's all I've got. Again, please make sure you guys are checking this physician signatures console constantly, especially make sure you were checking this other documents, because these are people that, especially you CCRCs, that have a whole ton of physicians. They may have used the wrong physician, whatever. There are more eyes. I know that this is going to sound generic, but there are more eyes on your documentation than ever right now. We are doing a ton of ADRs, especially on replacement patients. And a POC that is not signed or not signed timely has resulted in denial in the past. So this is a big deal that you're coming in and checking. And also in the CliniSign documents, again, making sure that your physician, like her, Dr. Kapoor, this is somebody who is set up for CliniSign, but for whatever reason, they have not signed that, probably because it's not all that old. But make sure that your doctors that are signed up with CliniSign and CliniFax, she hasn't sent anything to CliniFax in all month, but they would be here too. Make sure they're sending, or they're signing timely. So lots to look at on this screen. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good Thursday. If you have any questions or comments, reach out to me, and happy CliniSign and CliniFax inputting.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for